Hey bunnies, I have a question for you. When you look at the sun, actually, don't look at the sun, but when you look at the sun conceptually, it's pretty amazing it's been burning for 5 billion years, at that sort of blinding brightness. It seems impossible, but of course we know it's because of the nuclear fusion of hydrogen. On the other hand, Danielle, the sunshine of NewJeans, doesn't run on the nuclear fusion of hydrogen, which makes me wonder, how does she keep her brightness going? Is there a secret? Is it all just a facade? Are we seeing the real Danielle? Well, we're gonna find out. Cause I'm Ben Atmos, and welcome back to Idol Deep Dive, the show where we take an in-depth look at our favorite idols and figure out what we can learn from them. And certainly, Danielle has lessons to teach. She's been in media since she was practically a baby, going back and forth between two very distinct countries and cultures. So not only does she have an incredibly unique perspective as a K-pop idol, but she's the only one to reach literal Disney princess status. Now strap in bunnies, because this is gonna get deep.
Not gonna lie.
It's time to go back to the very beginning. Danielle Marsh, or Mo Ji-hye, was born on April 11th, 2005 in Newcastle, New South Wales, Australia. She has an Australian father,
Eco bananas,
Korean mother, and an older sister, Olivia, who is also an artist now. Her multicultural upbringing gave Danielle so many varied experiences and passions at a young age. Although she was born in Australia, she spent several years as a kid in Korea, and many years later back in Australia for her primary and middle school education. She gained a love for cooking from her mom, who would teach her how to make dishes like pesto pasta and potato pancakes. I guess you could say those skills came in handy when she had her groundbreaking debut in Jessie's Play Kitchen.
What comes after A?
B comes after A.
Good.
Yep, she was a child model, which gave us plenty of precious pre-debut footage.
지혜야, 화장해본 적 있어요?
But Danielle was far from a city girl, as she gained a deep love for nature from her years in Australia.
I deeply miss Australian wildlife because I'm such an outdoorsy nature lover. Every morning I'd wake up to birds chirping just outside my window and to the scent of wattle and eucalyptus rushing in with the breeze. I also miss the beaches, the fluffy sand and the huge crashing waves. We lived very close to the beach, and just a walk away from our house was one of the biggest saltwater lakes in Australia. I spent my entire spring, summer and autumn by the shores, and it made me calm and happy. In winter, my family and I would travel the Blue Mountains and stay in these cute, cozy cabins with fireplaces. Then in the morning, we would go bushwalking, and my dad would teach me the names of all the trees and plants.
Listening to this, it almost seems like Danielle grew up in a fairy tale. It's no wonder she feels so connected to nature, and it maybe makes a bit more sense now why she gives a name to literally any semi-sentient looking thing.
This is a little carrot. I'm gonna call it Warrett.
I'm gonna name you Jeffrey. Bella, Jeffrey, this one's Francis, and Gregory. How's Coco, Jojo, Momo, and Mr. Sleepy going? They're doing great.
I'm doing great. Sally. Sandra. Samantha. Samuel.
Hey.
That connection to nature is befitting of her Disney princess ties, and a lot like Ariel, she practically grew up in the ocean. When she was young, her and her sister would challenge themselves to go as far out into the ocean as possible. Let's assume it wasn't as dangerous as it sounds. Plus, their family owned a little boat they'd use to go to islands on the nearby lake. Now, let me tell you, she has not lost that passion for swimming. But music was her biggest inspiration of all. Danielle loved K-pop ever since she was 5 years old, the very first song she got into being Roly Poly by T-ARA. But she hadn't seriously considered becoming an artist until her family brought her to a Celine Dion concert in Sydney. Afterwards, she participated in singing competitions and auditioned for musicals. She really likes musicals, but I don't think that shocks anyone.
Growing up, Beyoncé was one of my biggest idols, and to this day she is such an inspiration. I have so much love for music and still admire so many artists, including Troye Sivan, Rihanna, Bruno Mars, Julie Andrews, 5 Seconds of Summer, just to name a few. Watching these artists perform and seeing how they interact with their fans has had an enormous impact on my life today. Being a fan of various artists myself, I am genuinely honoured and feel a great sense of responsibility to have such amazing fans. I'm consistently working hard to be someone that they can rely on.
And what do you know? Ladies and gentle bunnies, we have our first ingredient to Danielle's sunshine. She knows how she can affect her fans, just like how the openness of her favorite artists left an unmistakable influence on her as a fan herself. By watching her live streams, you can get a sense of this. She talks about familiarity.
You guys have already seen me without no makeup, so I mean, we're close enough, aren't we? Yes, we are.
And isn't afraid to get deep.
I still have so much to learn and so much to experience, so I feel like I'm still like a little child.
She also gives advice, all while switching between 2 languages and thus 2 different audiences.
The thing is, if you have no makeup on, 메이크업을 안 한 상태에서 입술만 바르면
And did I mention she can get deep?
I wish I had more time. Don't you?
She really treats her fans as she would a close friend. Well, as much as she professionally can. And that's impressive. Or how about in her solo zine, where she cooked up her family's famous pesto pasta and potato pancakes. She once again creates a warm atmosphere, inviting participation and sharing advice.
토마토는 확실하지 않은데 당근은 이렇게 볶거나 구우면 구울 때만 나오는 영양분이 있대요. 그래서 볶아 먹는 게 더 건강하대요.
A carrot, that's right.
It's clear to me that Danielle really does think of her fans as real, important people. And that's outside of the countless interviews where she says so. It's built into the motivations of her becoming an artist in the first place. She cherishes the relationship she makes with her fans, and it fuels her. It's her atomic hydrogen fusion. Which means the first ingredient to Danielle's secret eternal sunshine recipe: valuing a close fan relationship. Continuing the story, in 2019, Danielle passed the Plus Global auditions and became a trainee where she got introduced to her quote-unquote new family, who, because of the spelling of her name in Korean, originally thought she was a dude.
Did you think I was a guy at first?
Yeah, we all thought you were a guy.
And after a whole lot of hard work, she debuted in hit girl group, maybe you've heard of them, NewJeans. Sorry to interrupt my own video, but before we go further, we need to debunk something. You know how I said Danielle is like the sun since she's always so bright? Well, it's certainly easy to think of her that way, but it's worth realizing, like anyone else, she has limits. We've seen her worry. And be pessimistic.
근데 저는 솔직히 왜 저랬지? 라는 말을 되게 많이 할 것 같아요. 뭔가 왜 저랬지? 여기서는 분명히 이렇게 할 수 있었을 텐데.
So one real answer as to why Danielle is able to be so cheery all the time is because she isn't. Danielle's infectious optimism is what we usually see, since that's how she presents herself around others, but it's not as easy to conjure up that same optimism when she's reflecting on herself. Just because positivity is her usual mindset doesn't mean she's just programmed to be happy. That's important to take into account, if you haven't already. Now, what is it about being in NewJeans that continues to bring Danielle happiness that she can share with her fans? Is it really just that she likes creating a warm and inviting space for people? I would argue no. Okay, bear with me here. Imagine when you were a kid. That feeling you have towards those years when the world was full of wonder and excitement? Now ask yourself, why are things different? Are you a different person from who you were back then? Well, Danielle found out that answer for herself.
When I was younger, I was always like, I want to be older and I want to be more mature. But now I feel like growth comes naturally when you enjoy the present as much as you can. Being with the members makes me feel like I'm still a kid sometimes. When I look at myself in music videos from a year ago, I look much different than how I look now. And so I think it's about your mindset, your environment, and who you're around within the present. The boundaries between kids, teenagers, and adults, I don't feel like they're that important.
So remember when we talked about Danielle's childhood? Her time spent traveling between countries, exploring the lake and the forests? Simply being around those she loved? She's able to keep doing that with NewJeans. The spirit of her childhood is still very much alive. She's filled with the same simple love for her favorite things, even after the long and arduous path that led her to her dream job. When asked what her favorite part of being an idol was, she said this:
It would take me forever to name them all because there are so many unbelievably amazing aspects that I am grateful for. Since I love traveling, performing in different places and being able to experience new cultures is really exciting.
And then in another interview with Dazed,
I personally take a lot of photos because I really like to capture all those special moments, and we've gone through so many. We got to travel to different places with such beautiful surroundings. Because those are the moments where we're so happy and I don't care how this comes out, I just want to capture it. Like when there's flowers, oh my god, look at those flowers.
She tries to live moment to moment in the present. She welcomes and cherishes new experiences and adventures. So maybe what's worth realizing is that Danielle takes in sunshine just as much as bunnies do from her. Just like in her fond memories of Australia, she gets joy from life's simple pleasures. Her friends, her family, her fans, and her dream job, where she can explore and try out new things, surrounded by the people she loves. So Danielle isn't the eternal sunshine of NewJeans. She's more like a sunflower, collecting the sunlight as she goes, and giving it back to the people she loves most. Vogue Australia asked Danielle what bunnies meant to her. This was her answer.
This question in itself is so beautiful. They mean the world to me. They're like my sunshine. They bring me joy, warmth, and happiness.
So, congratulations. You were the sunshine this whole time. And now you can be my sunshine by liking and subscribing for more fun and insightful K-pop content. I gained a lot of respect for Danielle when researching for this video. There's something about the warm and natural atmosphere she creates for her fans that's inspiring. Anyways, I'll see you guys next time. Annyeong!